Hey everybody, want to do a quick little chatty sort of update here. This is my 125 gallon native tank and I'm in the middle of a water change, obviously. I'm just about to start filling it up again. I don't think I'm going to drain too much more water out of it. We've got about halfway down, and when you consider the amount of displacement we've got in the lower half of the tank, that's where the rocks and woodwork and everything is displacing all that water. So just because the water line is halfway down the tank, we've removed more than half of the water by this point. So we're looking at maybe a 60% water change by the time I get done with this video and get in there and get the water turned back on and filling back up. We already know my one snail shell is back there on the bottom. The meat, of course, has been cleaned out by the crayfish, and I finally found the other one. You can see it floating right there. So I noticed that yesterday floating around on the surface. So we're going to do this tank tonight. We've already done my Black Ghost knife fish tank. You can see how lovely and clean that looks. I got the glass wiped down. I did maybe a 25% water change on this tank, nothing major, but I did a pretty good water change on it. I did a nice gravel vac, and I trimmed out all of this big bushy temple plant that was right up front like that, so we've got a little more clear view into the tank. Haven't done any work on my T-bar tank or my gourami tank tonight, but the next tank we're going to get to is going to be my 29 gallon miscellaneous. I just did some water testing and tested the nitrates in a few of the different tanks, and this 29 gallon miscellaneous, as I expected, it's always my, I'll say, dirtiest tank, or my highest nitrate level tank is always this 29 miscellaneous. I don't know why, it just gets the least frequent water changes out of all my tanks down here. I do other water changes and I just pass this one by week after week. So tonight it's definitely getting done. The nitrates were red. I mean, like red. They were definitely getting up towards the higher end of what I find, acceptable. We were probably looking at near 80 parts per million. So I'll do maybe a 25 or 30% water change when it's, that bad. I don't want to shock them by, doing a 75% water change. I know a lot of people think that, doing a huge water change and shifting all that water out of there real quickly will refresh the fish and everything, but it's sometimes not that good of an idea to do a massive water change like that. That sudden drop in nitrates or sudden drop just in dissolved solids can put an osmotic shock on the fish. So I'm not going to do that tonight. We're going to do about a, like I said, maybe a 25% water change. We'll take a big chunk out of there and clean it up a little bit, but nothing overly dramatic. And then that's about it. I've got some video uploading now. We did some water testing, and then I'm in the middle of working on a before and after video on this tank. So I've already got the before filmed. I'm kind of letting the tank settle down, and we'll get the after filmed here in a little while. But I never like to see this tank half full of water without getting it on video. Just, I don't know why, it just always seems like something I should get on video whenever I do a big water change like this on this tank. So I'm not messing with the filter or anything tonight. I'm just dumping a bunch of water out of here and then filling it back up. I'm going to dump a bunch of those tannins out. And then this tank is also really heavily stocked. And as I said, the nitrates on this tank were pretty high too. Not quite as bad as my 29, but they were still pretty far up there. I would say they were definitely at 60 parts per million. So time for a water change. I'm not stressing over it. I've just been down here enjoying myself this evening. Like I said, I'm tinkering with different tanks. I got the music playing. Well, I had the music playing up until I started shooting the video here, but I'm about to go turn that back on and start getting this tank filled back up. So make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss any of the things I got coming up, all of the good stuff I've got with the different before and afters and water testing and so on and so forth. And if you're subscribed, you won't miss any of that. So don't forget, that was my native tank that we're doing the water change on, and then this one here is my Black Ghost knife fish tank. So thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you real soon in the next one.